you're listening.
I just don't care.
Look, if you're 300 pounds, then you are a monster, and I don't want you to talk.
Welcome back to This Is a Work. My name is David Hensley. I'm the owner and creative director of Long Walk Productions, and I am here to introduce your host, David Two Doggz Hayes.
Thank you very much, David Hensley, and welcome to Rock Hill, South Carolina's only premier wrestling pay-per-view podcast. This is a work. With me, as always, my tag team partner, Chris, the Fashion Plate Barnes. How are you, brother?
Present.
Right on, man. So we just got through watching Fastlane this past Sunday, and we went into this saying, what, Chris?
I mean, meh.
Pointless.
Kinda, yeah. Very much so.
And we came out of it saying still pointless.
Not bad, but still pointless.
Yeah. Fair to middling show. Wrestling was all right.
Yeah. The end. Good night.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to This Is a Work. Well, we started this thing off with the kickoff show and Riddle versus Mustafa. I'm not even trying anymore. It's
okay.
It's Ali. And
there you go.
so Riddle versus Ali. We're taking his first name away from him again. First of all, I'm not even sure exactly how Ali qualifies for a title shot at the U.S. title. I don't think he's won a match since he started Retribution. Regardless, the match wasn't bad. This is just a tale of things to come. It was just a pointless match. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. It just seems like this is the feud they want for Riddle now that they've shifted Lashley back into the main event.
Yeah, it feels like that they don't know what they want to do with Riddle either.
Mm-mm. Well, I mean, aside from seeing him pull off some sick scooter tricks.
Yeah. We'll get to that backstage thing here in a few. Fair to middling match. Retribution on the outside of this thing didn't do a damn thing but stand there the whole time. Riddle ends up going over with the Bro Derek from the top rope and gets a clean 3 count. Nobody rushed in. Nobody tried to hook his leg. Nobody tried to drag him out of the ring. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, I mean, for the masked anarchists who are trying to tear down the WWE for the inside, rules are rules.
True that. So Riddle wins. He gets he starts heading up the rampway, and he's gone. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, back in the ring, Ali and Retribution are having a discussion.
An emergency team meeting.
Ali's giving him the business and starts getting in Mia Yim's face. Oh, I'm sorry. Reckoning.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Yeah, that.
Well, for a while she didn't have a name, so.
Right. Starts getting in Reckoning's face.
Right.
And she just turns around and walks out of the ring. Nobody says, hey, shit, fuck you, anything. Then he turns around, looks over at, is it Mace?
I think it was Mace.
Whoever Shane Thorne is, he ends up.
I couldn't tell you.
He walks right past him, out of the ring, which leaves Dio Madden and Dijakovic, T-Bar and Slapjack, I think.
Yes.
And he starts giving them the business. Well, they grab him around his neck, give him a double choke slam, and it looks like the Retribution stable of jobbers is no more. We had such hopes there for, 3 weeks until they actually got contracts. Now, they didn't even make it out of the gate, and that's one less tag team that we have now. So As far as the match goes itself, I gave it 2.5. It wasn't a bad match.
No.
But again, we could have done this on Raw. Saved us some time. Moving into the actual card, we're going to start things out with the women. Speaking of pointless, we're going to start things out with the women's tag team championship match.
With the same storyline for both the heel and the face teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's, we don't really want to be a team, but for some reason we're going to team up and go for the tag titles.
Which seems to be the same storyline that has been happening to all of our tag teams all year. It's almost like they don't care about the division, if one were to guess.
But at least at other points they would come up with different things.
I mean,
arguably they should have dropped this type of angle after Kane and Daniel Bryan, because they actually finally resolved it where they became a team.
Yeah. And it was a great team and it got over.
Yes.
That's not what's happening here.
No.
We've got Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. They're arguing over who's going to start. And then you've got Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, and they're arguing over who's going to start. Bianca and Banks aren't even a team anyways. How many times have we done this year? I mean, and we're only 3 months in.
Yeah.
So we're already starting out bad. The match wasn't good. It was spotty. It looked choppy. I'm not even going to say that this was entirely Nia Jax's fault this time.
No, but she helped.
Oh, she definitely helped. Nobody looked great in this.
No one came out of this looking like a winner.
No. The go home of this match is.
You want me to tell you?
Oh, please.
This is the dumbest. Well, Reginald, Carmella's sommelier, who was apparently on loan for some reason.
Yeah, the one that was the sommelier for Carmella.
Yes.
And then was in love with Sasha Banks.
Right.
And then was in love with Bianca Belair.
Uh-huh.
And now is in love with Nia Jax.
I guess because he came out to the ring with them. So what he did at the end was he jumped up to distract.
If I remember, I think it was Bianca.
Yeah. So one of them ends up hitting him, like knocking him off the. It was largely unnecessary.
Yeah.
But it was just meant to be, you're distracted. Because Bianca takes him down, takes him off the ring apron, knocks him off. I guess Sasha was going for a tag or something, and when she wasn't paying attention, so Sasha starts yelling at Bianca for not paying attention, which distracts Sasha so that she is in turn pinned.
Yeah, by Shayna Baszler.
Yes.
And they get the 3 count. Mm-hmm. Well, I know you're going to be shocked to hear this, but
the Mega Powers exploded.
Yeah. An argument ensues after the match.
Who'd have thunk?
So
it's not even a cheap way to get heat going for a match. It's just dumbest. It's just the dumbest. It's contrived.
It would be fine if we hadn't seen this 8 times.
Right.
Past 7 months.
And if they hadn't decided to compress this storyline within a month or 2, it's contrived even for wrestling. That's how bad it is.
Right. They don't care. They're just like, whatever. Who cares? Let's just get them to WrestleMania, and then we still won't care.
And this ends with what I can only call although I don't know if they'll treat it as such, as basically as a heel turn again for Sasha.
Yeah.
Because she and Bianca argue. It gets heated. Sasha just straight up slaps Bianca.
Slaps the piss out of her.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Bianca stays in the ring. Can you fucking believe this?
Wait a minute. Let me see if I can guess what happened.
What?
Bianca got mad and she started wailing on Sasha. Right?
No.
No. Oh, wait, no, she went out, she got a chair and chased her to the back.
No.
No? Well, I'm out of ideas then.
She stood in the ring disbelievingly, basically going, did she really just do that? While Sasha walked up to the ramp and posed with the title.
And then Bianca, in all of her rage, points to the WrestleMania sun.
Yes. Really driving it home.
1.5 Meltzers. This is... What are we doing?
There was some... I honestly, it escapes me now because it's a few days after, and I almost... And as much as... even when I love a pay-per-view, it just immediately falls out of my head for the most part. Mm-hmm. But there was some good stuff in there, and then there were some pretty obvious botches, too.
There was. Bianca hit this beautiful 450 splash. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was pretty. Probably best move of the night for my money.
Yeah.
That was about it for me.
I think so. I think there were a few points where it got really close to Bianca's hair getting like stepped on.
Yeah, that seems to happen every match. Yeah. Could you cut it maybe 2 inches?
Yeah, just like
2 inches, because you're making me nervous.
Because when she leans down and she's doing anything while bending, there's a heightened chance someone's going to accidentally step on that.
Yeah, it's a fear I've got,
and not on purpose, like a proper heel move. Mm-hmm. Just like an accident, and it's going to be terrible. And
Nia's going to do it. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen. It's inevitable.
There's an invisible countdown for that.
Yeah. This is the bad part, Barnes. I try to tell people that it was like, well, AEW's women's division is just garbage. It's like they barely have anybody that looks like they're worth anything. And it's like, oh, WWE's women's division is so much better than theirs. It's just far and away better. And then you come up with some shit like this.
And then you still have Shayna and Nia, who are still champions and are still also doing we barely tolerate each other, but we're champions still. And that's the plan for that. I mean, what's going to happen? What is that going to be?
And this has been going on for a long time.
Also, who are they going to face at WrestleMania? I mean, clearly they're going to have them defend. So they got to set
the Riot Squad, I guess.
I guess they got to set that up in under 2 weeks. So
yeah, but now I just watched this very briefly on the Raw as I was walking out the door. Looks like they're pushing. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. So,
all right.
I mean,
they're not going to win.
Oh, God, no.
If they're setting them up to go in now, they're not going to win.
No, not even. But yeah, okay. So 1.5 Meltzers, and I think I was being generous. Moving into our next match now, we have Apollo Crews.
The Nigerian ne'er-do-well.
The Nigerian prince.
Ne'er-do-well.
I think I'm the only one in the world that likes this gimmick.
I think it's a cool idea. I don't know why he was like, well, no, my American accent has been the one I've been covering this whole time, but okay.
Barnes, he changed that accent.
I know. I saw it on the video.
Promo.
Yeah, I saw that on the video package. He just like fell right into it very easily.
And
he's been practicing.
Yeah. So he is challenging for the
Intercontinental.
And thank you for the IC belt against Big E. In my opinion, this is match of the night.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, maybe we'll get there later. But
yeah, we'll get there.
This is a strong contender for me.
Yeah, this was some good stuff, man. We started out so strong. Big E taking it to him. I mean, for a minute, that start was amazing. I thought for a minute that Big E might be jobbing out Cruz.
It's true. Whenever you see a wrestler get such a strong offense like that, it's usually just let them shine before the inevitable.
Yeah. And the whole time, he was talking smack and just let it was like, you wanted this. You wanted this. This is what you wanted. And again, the difference between Roman doing his shit talking during the match and Big E. Big E was moving while
Big E was moving and motivated. Roman whines like a child who's been told to clean up his room.
Right.
Like he's slinging the toys.
It's just walking around the Castle Grayskull for a few minutes before he puts it in the closet.
Yeah.
It's, it's annoying. Yeah, they started out so Cruz comes back and starts with throwing his standing moonsault, which is so pretty. Shows off his power moves. God, these two. Go ahead.
Oh no! Was this the match? That's right. This one did start with Big E just running spearing him through the ropes, right?
Speared him through the ropes.
That's to the outside. Yeah.
It is my favorite thing that Big E does.
That's how it started.
That is my favorite spot. Apparently, he really likes that spot because he does it a lot, and it looks great. And every single time, I end up saying, it's a big man to be doing that.
Absolutely. Oh, that spot's money. I would do it every chance I got
to. Absolutely. Apollo ends up getting pinned clean.
Yeah, it was weird. I think it kind of got a little confusing at the end because I could tell what they were going for.
Yeah.
Where basically Big E had shifted his weight so his shoulders weren't down, Apollo's were.
It was an ugly win.
Yeah.
It was supposed to have been like the small package inverted. And
it's that move when you see it clearly, you know what happens where it's like they've got the guy down, but then the other guy just suddenly shifts his weight a little bit, and suddenly his shoulders are up and the other guy's is down.
Right.
And it didn't look as clean as it should have.
Yeah, and I couldn't really tell if that was whether that was Big E's fault, whether that was Apollo's fault, or whether Ref Jess was in their way. Actually, that's probably why it looked bad, because she was on the outside close to the ropes. So that man, now that I'm thinking about it, it might have been.
But it really kind of helps in a way.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
It's one of those things where even if you could say it's a botch, it's a botch that really pushes the story along really well.
Yeah,
because it wasn't super definitive, and so Apollo can still be like, you didn't really beat me, and then he followed it up by beating on Big E after the match because he was upset about losing that way.
Right, and he's the only person that got any, forgive me, retribution after the match.
Yeah, you noticed that, and it kept being very, very apparent that there was none of those kind of shenanigans. There was like retribution just stood there. There wasn't anyone else really doing that kind of thing, and it became kind of obvious why later.
Yeah. Nobody's given them anybody the what for until now.
Yeah.
But again, I'm really digging the Nigerian Prince thing. I love this. You made this comment earlier that night when we were watching, where I believe you said, "This is the."
I'm really worried because I don't remember what I said.
He's like, "This is the same guy that emailed me about."
I made
supposed to send me some money.
Yeah, that was as I. I'm surprised no one else made that joke sooner.
Right. It's I really love him. I kind of want him to do that in one of his promos.
Oh, that'd be great. Why not? Yeah, heal it up and just admit, like, yeah, he was the.
Might as well. I mean, and plus he's so vicious with this character now. He really looks good. I'm pulling for him on this.
Yeah.
You're given, finally, after 10 years, you've given me a reason to care about Apollo Crews. Thank you. Just shy of a decade. Jesus Christ. 3.5 Meltzers for this one. I thought it was great.
It was a fun match.
Moving into our next one, we have Shane McMahon.
Oh, this shit. Okay.
Versus Braun Strowman. Okay, let's talk about this for a second.
I I'm so confused. About the mentality of this.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, did you care about this match when it was Shane versus Braun?
No.
No? So why in the hell?
They didn't even pull my attention when, for some inexplicable reason, Shane McMahon slimed Braun Strowman.
Yeah. Yeah. There was... And what we're doing here is we're revamping the Shane McMahon Big Show feud.
Yes.
Where Shane McMahon, he's going to get his heel heat by calling him stupid, which is the same damn thing he did to Big Show.
Yes, this is super important. He wore a Strowman Express shirt, but had a very special sticker placed over Strowman, and it said stupid. So it said Stupid Express instead of Strowman Express.
I'll be honest, I kind of like the shirt.
Yeah, you would. But do you get it? Do you get the point he's making?
I think I got it.
So it was like for a minute when they started with this, I think they started with this on the pre-show. They were like, well, Shane McMahon injured himself earlier today when he was preparing for the match. Mm-hmm. And they had pictures of him on the ground, his knee injured. And I was like, and we were for a moment, we were like, wait, is this for real or are they pulling a story? And then they had that segment where they opened up the trainer. I was like, story. Yeah, it's okay.
It said doctor's office or
Doctor
something
trainer,
like
yeah.
Doctor Trainer. Yeah.
No, you wouldn't cut to this unless it was part of the show. It would just be Shane McMahon's not happening.
Yeah. And then Elias comes up to him and says, hey, I want to talk to you right in the middle of this pay-per-view about my WrestleMania song debut that I wanted to. And, well, I don't really have time to worry about that, but maybe we can do something now. And he said, hey, that sounds awesome. And away to the ring they go.
And long story short, Shane tricks Elias into taking his spot, basically.
Yeah. And again, how many times have we done Braun Strowman versus Elias?
Well, now he's dressed like a commando.
That's a good point.
We've got commando variant Braun.
Yeah.
With Kung Fu grip.
He's... how many times have we seen the Symphony of Destruction match? At least 3 that I can remember.
Sure.
Every single time Elias has done the job. So again...
But in this match, we have something special to talk about because when the Strowman Express happened, Elias employed safety measures that I can only call a pirouette to safety.
Oh my God. Boy, I'll tell you what, we need to start a new segment at the end of the stupidest move. Because, boy, this one wins hands down. He starts to do the freight train, Strowman Express, run around the ring thing to where he's going to body block everybody. He barely touches Elias. And Elias jumped in the air and does the worst little pirouette.
It was definitely a spin of some kind, and he lands against the barricade,
and then sold it.
Yes,
it was the worst thing that I saw that night.
I can't even remember if the announcers tried to cover it with like, oh, a glancing blow or something like that.
Yeah, the damnable thing about it is, we're watching this on Peacock now. Well, you can't rewind on Peacock if you're watching something live.
Not currently. Yeah, they don't have everything in place yet, so.
So I really wanted to go back and see that again. But my God. What?
Don't worry, you'll see it again when Matthew gets Botchamania up.
Yeah, see, Elias, this is the reason that you're doing the jobs. You can have Jason Riker all you want to, that roided up freak, but if you're doing pirouettes in the air for a sell, you're going to keep jobbing, man. Obviously, Strowman goes over. He didn't seem to give 2 shits the fact that Shane had pulled the fast one.
Oh, and shock of all shocks, Shane was fine and he hit him with his crutch.
Yes, he did. And
which I was looking it up. They pulled the same spot on Monday too.
they absolutely did. And
like, is that how little you think people watched Fastlane?
I mean, really?
Because I was reading that on Wikipedia. I was like, wait, that's exactly how Fastlane ended.
They don't give a damn about it. You know what? Just give me the pen, guys. Just give me the pen and the book and let me handle this.
So it's going to be Strowman, Shane for WrestleMania, I'm betting.
Yeah, it is. They've already announced it.
Can this be the year they finally just kill Shane? It doesn't have to be for real. Just kill him off on screen.
If we're going to keep doing horse shit like this, then yeah, we may as well. Just drop him out of helicopter.
He's been trying. Let's just make his dream come true.
Sure. Yeah. I gave this match a 2
sure.
just because, the match wasn't bad except for that pirouette there.
It didn't really wear out its welcome.
No.
It was about as long as it needed to be for this kind of thing.
Exactly. Now, if this had been an AEW match, this would have gone on 30 minutes. So good on and good on WWE for being aware of the time now.
Oh God, yeah.
It's only taken them. I mean,
we can complain about a lot of this stuff, but at least it did not take up so much of the night as it could have.
Yeah, at least we're in bed by 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's match 4 of 8. Well, technically 8 matches. Like, we're halfway through the show already, and the longest match at this point was the women's tag match at 9:45.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, that was about 4 minutes too long.
I mean, actually, the 2 longest matches, the 3 longest matches of the night are in the next half, and it's just, I mean, they actually didn't. I mean, they didn't feel overly long.
No, none of this did. None of this did. And that's why we had time for the Old Spice commercial and the 24/7 belt.
Yeah. It's not the weirdest Old Spice commercial I've ever seen. So.
It's not. It's not.
They could have gone even further.
Yeah. Moving into the next match,
there was also that. Okay, I just want to bring up this segment because it did something weird that I did not like.
Oh, lay it on me.
But it was the Matt Riddle, Shinsuke Nakamura segment.
Go ahead.
Which was funny in and of itself because even though I saw the punchline coming because of the camera work, but it was like Riddle starts talking. Basically, Riddle becomes Napoleon Dynamite on his scooter and just starts talking about how awesome his scooter is and how Shinsuke should get a scooter too.
Yeah, so he wants him to go into business with him, and how he had a brother or a cousin that had a scooter before.
And as Shinsuke's nodding like and the camera closes in on Riddle so that when he finishes talking, although Riddle did kind of screw up and glance over once.
Yeah.
I saw him because he was making sure that Nakamura was out of the shot, I think. Because when Riddle stops and looks over, the camera pans back out. Shinsuke's run away.
Why are we doing this with Riddle?
I don't know. I don't know why they're making him like the weirdo people don't want to talk to.
I mean, he's a badass.
Yeah.
And
I guess that's the point, is like, this guy is an amazing badass. He's also just incredibly weird and socially awkward to talk to.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about this the other night.
But harmlessly, I mean, at least.
Is this punishment because he keeps being he keeps being a dick to all of their big players? Like, when Goldberg came through, he kept saying, "Hey, me and Goldberg need to have a baby. Goldberg's too old."
I guess if he keeps mouthing off, but it doesn't seem to faze him to have to do this stuff. So I don't know if it's really it doesn't seem to punish. It's like Mark Henry when they kept giving him all of those like terrible ideas to try and get him to quit, and he's just, "No, I'll do it."
Yeah.
And they persevered, and
Mm-hmm. I just I don't see how. I understand that people respect him, and I do too.
Sure,
because he's a great worker. But just as, I mean, as a gimmick, this is tough, man.
He does not have.
It's like rockabilly.
He doesn't have the charisma I need from him to be able to stand this.
Right. It's not there.
But really, aside from, I mean, okay, admittedly, I thought the punchline was good. But what I did not like about that segment was, I guess for some reason they feel it's necessary to put their names up when they're it's like. They put their names. I was like, "This is a backstage segment. It's not. It's like it breaks it. It breaks the moment because it's like these are just two guys talking. This isn't like
we know who the hell it is.
And if you don't ask,
if they don't watch it, why are you watching in the first place? Unless you're with a group,
right?
And then just ask one of the guys, "Hey, who is this?" That's Shinsuke Nakamura, and that's Riddle.
Because that's supposed to be a candid moment in the hallway, not someone coming out for a match. It's just, you don't need to do that.
Yeah. So moving into our next one, speaking of Shinsuke, he was on our next match.
He was.
It's Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Rollins. We're not doing the Messiah anymore. We're actually burning it down.
He Angie.
So yeah, he started out with he started out wrestling like a face. Mm-hmm. It was, which kind of threw me off there for a second. I mean, it's still a really, really great match, and by the end of the match, we had already fixed everything, and
right,
it was very clear Shinsuke was the face in this, but. Started out a little weird, but later on it did get fixed. I
don't know. You can kind of explain that away though if you want to, where it's like you get this feeling that he respects Shinsuke, but then he's like screw this, I want to win.
Yeah, and then this whole thing is about going after Cesaro in the first place, because that's what's supposed to happen for WrestleMania.
Oh, okay.
Is it? Is it gonna? I don't know.
They got 2 nights to fill.
Right.
Something will happen.
Yeah, well, we can do a best of 7 of Nia and Baszler.
Dave, can you mark this time down just to add a gun cocking noise to the...
I will 100% cancel this show if that's what happens. We will never discuss wrestling ever again.
I wouldn't blame you. Rollins goes over with he beats Shinsuke clean on this.
Yeah.
I mean, hits him with the curb stomp.
No, I think the oh Christ was when he was still the Messiah.
Yeah.
I love the curb stomp though.
I do too.
One of the best moves. Because it looks like it's like it can be. It looks devastating, but it looks like if you're doing it right, it's not like a hard move to take.
Yeah, and there's a lot of ways to reverse that, and you can move out of the way, you can stop it, you can grab the boot, there's and you can do it to anybody. Mm-hmm. But we got a clean victory off of this. Why? What was the point of that? I would assume it's just to get Rollins built back up from his time off from paternity leave. I guess, but it seems like it seems a shame to win clean. Yeah, I agree. Especially with Shinsuke. And that's what you were talking about. Like, there weren't a lot of shenanigans happening. No. And at one point during the match, he even started to do the giant swing as a FU to Cesaro. Yeah. But yeah, this match was really good too. I gave it a 3. Mm-hmm. But again, very little point to this. I noticed. I think they remixed Nakamura's theme music again. They did, yeah, because he's face again. So we gotta swap it up. It's remixed to be a little more fast paced and less dramatic. Mm-hmm. Moving into our next one. Now, this was another good one. Mm-hmm. You could probably make a decent argument that this would be match of the night as well. Yes. We have Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. This is a no-holds-barred match, which means Hogan's coming out. And he's going to fight Zeus. What's that smell?
Dookie.
God damn. Why haven't we done why haven't you guys done a long walk talks on no holds barred?
I'm not the one you got to get it past. It's this one.
I like to maintain some degree of respectability.
I hear you, Money Plane. All right.
I'm gonna contest that hardcore.
That Money Plane was not my idea.
Money Plane was totally your idea.
No, that was Gina Belmont of This Is a Takeover. I will throw her under that bus every single time.
All right, whatever, Mr. Executive Producer / Creative Director.
What about all of the other reindeer?
Well, that was just funny.
Okay. Okay. All right.
No. I mean, if I need to, I will look up our episode lists and.
Grandma got run over.
I was
by
about
a
to say,
reindeer?
no one's going to bring up Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
No, I was getting there.
Yeah. I mean, we can also go back to Assault on Devil's Island.
I was
Ready
heading
to
that
rumble.
way.
Ready to rumble.
Ready to Rumble was tough. Jesus.
Stan still defends it.
See, and that's why I still claim that you guys were working me. What person in their right mind would defend this movie?
You mean aside from David Arquette?
You answered your own question when you said what person in their right mind.
Touche.
Stan and Robert both will go out of their way to.
No, Robert does not defend this movie.
No, not Ready to Rumble, but he will. They both desperately look for the good in things.
They do. Robert Bradford is a saint.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to defend Ready to Rumble, though, is he?
Let's ask him to watch it and see what happens.
I mean, if he hits
I'll
you,
do a part 2, motherfucker. Don't tempt me.
I mean, if he hit you, it wouldn't surprise me. Hey, you want to watch Ready to Rumble? Pow! He's on the, and now you're on the ground.
I've seen him live tweet WWE events. He'd do it.
That's true. I've seen him at the Royal Rumble. So, moving into our next one, Drew versus Sheamus, no holds barred,
Yes.
and man, these guys turned it up. Good stuff. Sheamus looks fantastic.
Yes, he does.
He looks. Man, they've really turned up the juice with him. Mm-hmm. He looks world title present. I wouldn't mind seeing him in contention for it. I mean, we have, but not believably here as of late.
Yeah.
I would love to see it. The match goes all over the place. They're suplexing each other on the concrete. They're throwing each other into the monitors with an explosion much bigger than the exploding barbed wire. Wow, it's God. I'm trying to think of the that one move in particular. There were like 6 or 7 suplexes out there on the concrete. Mm-hmm. He throws him into a monitor, which exploded.
Yep. I think Sheamus put Drew through the table, didn't he?
He did put him through the table. Yeah. There was so many good things that happened. I think I'm going to have to change it. I think this might have to be match of the night. Now that I'm thinking about it,
honestly, Big E plus like the second half of this pay-per-view is just almost rock solid.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. I gave this match 4 Meltzers. Drew goes over clean and with the Claymore kick. Did the leg slap.
He did.
And goes over with the leg slap. I thought that was a no-no.
What a rebel.
And
I saw footage of after that ban was put in place where Sami Zayn attacked Kevin Owens at ringside, and there was clear footage of him doing a kick, and he saw his hand rigidly hover in the air because he wanted the thigh slap, but he couldn't.
Oh, it almost makes me wonder if Sammy did that on purpose. Did the stop?
It was just I've had those moments where I've seen where myself is like you just hard stop yourself from it almost looked like he was trying to force choke something because it was like that arm was like locked in place.
Right.
Like the very last second his brain went no.
Yeah, 4 Meltzers for this stuff. And great match. McIntyre goes over. And so it's going to be McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. I'll be we didn't see Lashley tonight. I'm actually okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, there wasn't any need to push that. I mean, now that Fastlane has ended, now you get into that.
Yeah. I mean, as far as Lashley goes, I even hesitate to continue to say it because something's going to happen now. But, man, Bobby looks great with that world title strap. Mm-hmm. And he's performing well. Really, I just watched him on Raw. He looked sensational.
So you think he's got the goods to hold on to it for a while?
I think so, man. I think so.
All right, it's out there now.
I mean, I think he could do it if they keep the Hurt Business together and kind of keep running them like they would the Horsemen.
Right.
I think that's gold. And
as long as they keep going in the exact opposite direction of Retribution, they'll be fine.
Yeah. So now we have our semi-main event:
mm-hmm.
Randy Orton versus Alexa Bliss.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, here we go.
When I saw the time for this on Wikipedia, I was surprised because it felt like a longer thing than it was.
How long was it?
They say 4 minutes 45 seconds. Now that might have been bell to bell.
Maybe, yeah. Because let's remember that there was a solid 3 minutes of Randy Orton choking on his own black vomit.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, when he got Shangoed.
Yeah. Shangoed. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so he goes up, he does his pose, he starts throwing up the bile
mm-hmm.
that he's been doing for a few weeks now. And it just gets him angry, and he goes out.
That's my favorite point when you're doing like a supernatural kind of thing where the guy isn't so much scared that it's happening anymore. He's just pissed. He's just
yeah.
I hate this. I hate you. Come on, I'm gonna fight you.
Yeah. Well, here comes Alexa. She's got a different theme now. It's kind of a combination of everything.
It also kept slowing down and speeding up intermittently, and
which is good
warping,
stuff.
Yeah, warping in on itself.
Yeah. I like it, and I love Bliss doing this. This is some of her best work. Mm-hmm. Period. Point blank. So the match starts. We have no referee.
Oh, actually, someone pointed this out on Twitter. There was a referee in the ring until Randy walked toward Alexa and the fire shot up. Then you see the ref just get the fuck out.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
I can't remember where I saw it, but it was like I did not see that the first time because the focus is on the fire. But
mm-hmm.
when it pulls back into like a full ring shot after the fire spouts,
yeah,
you see the ref just go, nope, I'm out, and the ref does not show back up until the end of the match.
Yep. So he starts to move towards Alexa, and fire shoots up. The ref pieces out.
Yep.
She bounces out of the ring.
Yeah, it just basically becomes a glorified Tom and Jerry chase.
Yeah. Comes out of the ring. She kind of walks him around. Yeah. Something else happened there. I don't remember what it was.
On the outside, he gets close to her at one point on the outside, and then that's when she makes part of the lighting rig fall in front of him.
Well, there was something that happened before that.
Was there?
Where he falls out of the ring, and I can't remember what made him fall out of the ring. And she's looking at him going, "Are you okay. And, but, you know, whatever that was, it doesn't matter. Follows him around the ring. She uses the power of the Force to bring down some of the lighting scaffolds to fall, almost hitting him. And she makes another little comment, and the sky is falling. And back into the ring. And this got weird because she threw fire at him again.
Yes.
But this time, Randy deflected the flames. I don't know if anybody else caught that or not.
He did.
I didn't know anybody could block the Hadoken.
Well, he was ready for it this time. She's already hit him with it a few times.
What level do you have to learn that? I guess when you get legendary killer status, I suppose.
Exactly.
So
that fails, and he starts coming toward her again. I think that's about the time.
That's about the time that there's a slit that appears in the ring, in that very same corner that it always appears in, and out stretches a hand and grabs his ankle.
I'll be honest, the amount of time it took for that hand to pop out and grab him, I was like, he should have noticed.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Like, he should have noticed.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't even hear it rip.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. And here comes the Fiend. He is melted. His hair is been burned and frizzed and hardly even in existence.
So I just want to point out that I distinctly remember almost a full year ago when we discussed WrestleMania, saying that the move towards doing pre-recorded matches, that's my question here. Was this match, Orton and Bliss, pre-recorded?
I'm betting they had stops and starts.
Yeah, I don't believe it was pre-recorded, but it was camera trickery.
Yeah. So I remember last WrestleMania saying this move towards cinematic matches that they were doing was the only way that you could do this Fiend gimmick, this supernatural element. I think this match might have proved me wrong there. Like, is it cheesy as shit? Like when the lights fall down or when a fireball appears? Yeah, but it worked.
Yeah.
This is the best of wrestling cheesiness.
It is. And let's be honest. This is going to divide the world here. Like, half the people are going to hate this.
Actually, that's
and half
pretty
the people are going to love it.
I was looking on Twitter, and it was kind of half and half. People going like, no, I hate this. And other people going, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean,
other people comparing him to the burnt up Chucky doll from Child's Play.
Sure. But I mean, let's be honest. I mean, who are we really playing to here? We're playing to the kids. And to the kids, the Fiend is terrifying. I mean, to some adults, he's terrifying. So, this is about the kids. So you can go a little cheesy here, especially with something like this. This is the time to do it.
Probably helps that.
Right before they go to bed.
Yeah. It probably helps that this is also that we're not seeing the new Fiend outfit in direct light either.
Yeah. I actually saw a couple of vignettes with the Fiend in full lighting.
Yeah.
And it's just the mask that's been melted, and it's cool looking. It really is. So yeah, he comes out, he turns around, he's staring at the Fiend, and Alexis runs up, pushes him into the Fiend. He gets caught in the Sister Abigail.
Yep.
For the 3 count. Yep. Alexa
wins.
Alexa straddles him.
Yes.
I think we all had feelings about that. And for a 3 count, as the Fiend stands over him and Alexa triumphantly. I can't give this a rating.
It really was more an extended segment than a match.
It was.
But it was good.
It was great. I mean, it's not a knock. So yeah, that's we're gonna put a NA beside that one.
Sure.
Which brings us to our main event, and we have Roman Reigns defending his Universal title versus Daniel Bryan
with special observer edge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Edge comes down as the outside enforcer. And then here comes Daniel Bryan with a new T-shirt, I noticed.
Yes.
That tickled me.
It was the yes point, but with a tree hand.
Yeah. Just, you dirty hippie. It's, that's just all I think about every time I see him now.
I would just like to say that since you brought up Braun Strowman and his action figure getup earlier, I need I don't remember who has the WWE action figure line now, but whoever it is, I want to see them do an action figure of Edge, but just call it like the Existential Dread with Existential Dread action, where you squeeze his legs together or you move an arm and his eyes pop out.
Yes. Yeah, God, we could start a whole line with this. We could make Edge stress balls, where you squeeze it, the eyeballs pop out. Oh, that would, yeah. I'm telling you,
it's just he looks. It reminds me of Tweak from South Park. He looks like he's just freaking out about whatever is happening.
Mm-hmm. So he comes down scared out of his mind, doesn't know what he's doing.
Looks like he's searching for exits at all times.
Here comes Roman meandering to the ring. I don't know what I hate more, his lack of wrestling or that goddamn music. I didn't like it when it was with the Shield. I was just like, we could do better than that. But no. And he keeps teasing us, telling us, oh, we're going to get different music. When? I'm trying. Every time I try to talk you up, you shit all over everything I say. And I'm going to get mad. I got to stop. Okay. So the match starts. Now,
it's a match I would describe as Daniel Bryan forces Roman to wrestle.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I say I don't know where exactly to start with this. If I want to talk about that or if I want to talk about what everybody is saying about this match. Have you seen?
No, and I get the feeling the way you phrased it, it's going to make me mad.
Everybody's saying the words "fantastic" was used several times,
which is weird because it had one of the dumbest endings.
Yeah,
I'll get into that in a minute, but
the match I don't think was his worst.
No.
I think I feel like if I had to guess, Daniel came up with the story to I'm gonna try to make you wrestle, and I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go amateur style and go hold for hold, and we're gonna chain wrestle. I think it was a mistake. But then again, was it because everybody's going, oh, it was fantastic? I disagree. He was trying to, he starts out trying to do leg takedowns, trying to go for arm bars, things like that. And Edge was shrimping out, scurrying, attempting to shrimp out. Really just scurrying is all he was doing.
Yeah. Skulking.
Yeah. Just really trying to get away from Daniel. It didn't look great.
He and Heyman were having a watch off.
Yeah. And finally he starts to get him. He starts to get over on him. And we start to do the old school heel versus face, 5 rules of death match. Yeah. Which face gets over, the heel can't get over unless he cheats, so he resorts to underhanded tactics.
Right.
We got a false hope, and then we're going to go with the go home. So that's basically what we did. I just don't think we did it right. If we would have gone with anything else, I think Daniel Bryan should have just come off, just super lightning quick, hit him with a couple guillotines, a sling blade, drop kicks, and then move into some ground game. Then I think we could have worked it from there. You got to goose us starting out when when Reigns. If you don't hook us right then you're going to lose it.
That's true.
But then again, what do I know? Because everybody loves this goddamn match, and why? I can't figure it out.
That's because basically all of his opponents have done a great job of making him look like $1 million.
Well, yeah.
Despite what people think otherwise.
I didn't see any of that this time.
There's no way they could ever make that argument.
No, not with Daniel Bryan.
Not with Daniel Bryan.
You can't do it with Kevin Owens either, but they sure as hell did.
Yeah.
They made Kevin, oh my God. Roman Reigns made Kevin Owens look like $1 million. He looked like he was title worthy.
Is that really a phrase someone used?
That's a phrase that somebody used.
Then that's someone who started watching after Kevin Owens had been champion already.
Yeah, he looked like he was main event material. I mean,
bitch, he always was.
It's oh my God.
But I thought the match was pretty good, pretty fun overall.
It was pretty good.
I see your argument about it wasn't the right exact way to make him.
It's not the way I would have booked it.
It's not the best way to make Roman shine.
Right.
But I think the only thing that really detracted from me was the logic of the finish.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
please,
of it happening, especially with Edge and Daniel Bryan being involved, is like everyone had the idiot ball.
Yeah.
Because first of all, we're pretty sure that no one else did any sort of run-ins or shenanigans because in order to protect the end of this match, because so it looked more special when Jey Uso ran out with a chair after a ref bump.
Yeah.
Because the ref. I'm sorry, but the ref did really telegraph it because the ref suddenly got behind Roman.
He sold it so hard.
He did, but he made the bump really obvious because the ref was suddenly behind Roman, arm on back, like, why? Why are you in that position? Oh, right, here it comes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got so ref goes down. Jey Uso runs out with a chair and starts trying to attack. Doesn't really work. Daniel, takes him down and gets the chair. Daniel's pissed. Yeah. And also Edge. Before that, Edge has gotten in the ring.
So now the outside enforcer is now
the special ref,
the special guest referee.
Because that is plausibly part of what the enforcer does.
Sure, they've done it a million times in the past.
Yeah, like Sid did it before.
Mike Tyson did it.
Yep. It's like when when the ref's down, the enforcer also counts as an official.
Absolutely.
So he gets in, and he. For about a half a minute to a minute, he calls it fair.
Yeah.
Even Roman gets a 2 count in that time.
Mm-hmm.
But then Jay comes down and interrupts Daniel, and I don't know if Edge gets knocked down, but he's somehow out of it for a minute.
Yeah, he gets knocked out of the ring, I believe.
Right. And then Daniel gets control over Jay, hits him with the chair, and then he goes. This is where the dumb part happens. He goes, the Roman's getting up, so he goes to hit him with the chair. Edge has also gotten back in the ring, so of course he's behind Roman, and Roman ducks as Daniel swings the chair.
Yeah.
Which hits Edge.
Yeah.
But then he also he gets Roman in the LeBell Lock. I'm not calling it the Yes Lock.
No, we've already decided we like the LeBell Lock
it sounds
much better.
And he holds it in long enough that the camera sees it, and Roman weakly taps out.
Yeah.
He taps out. It's a moral victory.
That was probably, if I had to call what was Roman's best performing moments out of all last year and up to present.
His sad little.
This was that sad little tap.
Yeah. I thought they were just going to have him pass out, but
I thought they were too.
But he couldn't, because what happens next is Edge, angry that Bryan hit him, despite knowing why it happened. Like, Daniel Bryan didn't hit him on purpose, and he did not follow up. There was no, just because they were at odds, he did not in any way want to hit Edge.
Right.
It was clearly an accident. But Edge, the ultimate opportunist, the man who's been called one of the shrewdest men in wrestling, takes that hit and goes, well, now I'm mad, and hits Daniel Bryan with the chair. I think he hits Roman for good measure.
Yeah, he did.
And then he leaves, angrily starts storming out as Roman takes advantage, crawls over onto Bryan, and gets the 3 count.
Yeah. As the new ref is just walking down, sees
that's right.
what Edge has done.
Right.
And he just, instead of them just throwing the match out.
And I hate that, because for that to work, specifically Daniel Bryan and Edge had to become significantly dumber for 3 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, anyone with I don't care why you're at odds. I know you both want, like, Edge is automatically facing whoever wins this match. Mm-hmm. So it shouldn't be a huge concern to him.
No.
So it just bugs me. It's like, he sees what happens, even though he's at odds with Bryan, like I said. He knows what happened is an accident.
Yeah. You knew it. You're going to go back and watch the tape that night. I know you are.
Yeah.
What are you should come out on Monday night and you're like, hey, I'm sorry, but that's my bad. I was in the zone. I've been on the juice. What do you want? It's
I thought I heard a car. Anyway, yeah. So Roman wins.
Yeah, Roman wins. I gave this a 2.5 Meltzer.
Okay.
I did. There was some things that Roman did that we've talked about it, forever, about him just walking around the ring, talking to whoever, and instead of actually getting aggressive, which, if we want to make Roman credible, take a page from Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews changed his gimmick, and now he is extremely aggressive, and we're interested.
It's part of what you do when you want to be a heel. You kind of like take the things that people, well, quote unquote, liked about you, and just find a way to turn them into unlikable aspects of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Suddenly, nice, agreeable Apollo Crews, steadfast babyface is now rigid and angry and just, aggressive, like you said.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, I don't mind the promos that Roman cuts. The monotone, no inflection, because it works. I'm the head of the table. I don't have to care about you.
That's fine.
I love all that. That works for me.
Sure, he can just do an imitation of Philip Seymour Hoffman from Mission Impossible 3.
Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like he's doing.
You hung me out of an airplane.
I want to go back and watch that.
The delivery is still one of the best ones.
It really is. So, 2.5 Meltzers for this. Overall, sorry, WWE.
It was a fast lane, all right.
You matched. You did beat AEW Revolution, but not by much.
Pay-per-view is so important it didn't happen last year.
Yeah. So I gave you a 2.5 for Fastlane.
Sure.
Let's move into our best of, worst of.
Okay.
All right. So Now, MVP's hard on this one. I thought about it for a while. Because there's really not anybody that is shining as the one that carried this pay-per-view on their back, except the obvious ones. And I don't like going too obvious with it, but this time you don't really have a choice, and that's Big E.
Yeah.
That's my MVP. Barnes, what do you have for best dressed?
Best dressed?
Yeah.
I'll go with Apollo Crews, actually.
I got to agree.
I think his new look is working really well for him.
I agree. The only thing that he has been coming out with the spear and he came out with a spear though, didn't he? Or did he?
Yes, he did.
He did, but he also has two paramilitary
attachés. Paramilitary guards, yeah.
Yeah, and he has been coming out with them. He didn't come out with them this time.
No.
I'd like to see those guys. They don't have to get involved in the match. They can just be there. Mm-hmm. I don't need them to get active. I just like the look of them coming down with him. So what do you have for worst dressed?
Oh, Elias's friend.
Oh, Jason Riker.
Yeah. Get a t-shirt.
Well, he had a wife beater there for a second. And then halfway through the match, he decided
the match he's not a part of.
Yeah. He said, this shirt is too constricting for me to stand here. So I'm ripping it off.
I mean, honestly, if I were to give a more realistic answer, maybe, I mean, it wasn't a bad outfit, but I don't really like it on him, bronze.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out what that's about. I'm wondering if he's gonna, he's been working out. He's trying to lean up a little bit, and I'm wondering if he's gonna show off his new physique at WrestleMania. I wonder if that's what it's all about.
Maybe.
That's a guess. I don't know. Well, David Hensley, do you have a best performance for us?
I do, and I have to go with Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Agreed.
She is so adorable, even when she is being an evil little gremlin, and I love her.
Absolutely. Alexa Bliss is by far, she's been my favorite for years now. No signs of stopping. What about worst performance?
Nia Jax.
Yeah. Without question. I am kind of surprised you didn't say Roman.
Because he was given less time to do the normal bullshit shenanigans he normally does. Like, there was a lot less of the pacing around and monologuing this time. I damn near gave worst to Jey Uso, just because if there's anyone that I am more tired of seeing than Roman Reigns, it's fucking Jey Uso interrupting matches.
They keep letting him do the same thing over and over.
I know. I'm so fucking sick of seeing this bit.
Mm-hmm. And everyone's surprised when it happens.
Just fucking...
This is my whole thing. We have the potential to... We have enough Samoans in the WWE and beyond to actually create the family again. We got Jay, we got Jimmy, we got Nia. Plus, I don't think it would be very hard to call up Jacob Fatu. I think he's working for he's not in with Evolve, but I think he's with CWX or somebody around there. But I don't think it would be hard to get him. Whether he's got a title or not, I think we could just call him and just say, "Hey, look, let's get you for WrestleMania. Let's see how you do." And if we're gonna do this, let's do it. Let's bring the family in, man. Let's make it happen.
No, we need another year and a half of Roman monologuing and Jay interrupting matches.
But at least we got a Golden Glove now, so there. So there's that.
Thanks. I hate it.
So let's go over our top 10 since we haven't done that in 3 months. So we'll start with, this is going to be the AEW and WWE. We're going to start with the women's overall. So number 10, actually moving on to the countdown for the first time, is Thunder Rosa. Number 9, falling a couple of points, is Charlotte Flair. I guess that's because of the absence that she's been under.
Oh, yeah. Turns out she tested positive for COVID.
Yep, there you go. So she may even drop off the countdown, maybe even after WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. Number 8 is Xia Li. Number 7, still holding on to a number 7 spot, is Lacey Evans. Number 6 is going to be the AEW Women's Champion, Hikaru Shida. Number 5 is your favorite and mine, Alexa Bliss. Honestly, I'm a little mad. I think Alexa Bliss needs to be a little bit higher on this. Number 4 is going to be Bianca Belair, who we'll see at WrestleMania against Sasha Banks. Number 3, still holding strong. I don't know how. I don't know why. Because she has not wrestled a singles match. I can't remember the last time she wrestled a singles match. And that would be the Raw Women's Champion, Asuka. I don't know what she's still doing on the countdown even. I can't remember her wrestling since last October. Maybe she has.
She's wrestled since then, but not solo.
As a tag team. It's no singles matches. Nothing where she defended her title.
Fire whoever came up with that algorithm.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that whole thing was a bust. That was a mistake. Number 2 is your SmackDown Women's Champion, and that is Sasha Banks. And number 1, we've got an NXT competitor, Io Shirai.
Oh, yeah.
So let's move into the men's top 10. Number 10, we have Edge. Number 9 is your new WWE champion, Bobby Lashley. Number 8 is AJ Styles, still holding strong to a number 8. Number 7 dropped a few points. MJF. Yes, I am pissed about that. Number 6 is Drew McIntyre, who also dropped several points. Number 5 is going to be your AEW champion, Kenny Omega. Number 4, moving up fast on our top 10 list, is going to be our Intercontinental Champion, Big E.
Yep.
Number 3 is your U.S. champion, Riddle. Number 2 is your NXT champion, back on the countdown, Finn Balor. And number 1, you know him, you love him. That's the head of the table himself, Roman Reigns. So, well, you don't have to look at me like that.
I really feel like I do.
I feel like you did that to me personally. I
No.
produce a podcast for you.
It makes about as much sense.
And I appreciate it.
I agreed to do this for you and let you host, and for you to bring this bullshit into my office, I am offended.
It's just a formula. This
makes about as much sense as when I see rankings in the WWE 2K games.
Yeah, well, it's the same as NASCAR, same as UFC rankings. It all works out the same way. And finally, we got the we got the tag teams. Number 10 is starting out NXT. You're still mad at me about it.
Go, keep counting.
The NXT tag team newly formed, MSK. Number 9 is the tag team of Orny and Birch, also from NXT. It's you can kind of see where your tag team divisions are shining and where they're not. Number 8 is, are you ready for this one? We're moving back over to AEW, the Gun Club. Mm-hmm. Number 7 is Legado del Fantasma from NXT. Number 6 is your champions, Ziggler and Rude. I'm not sure why that's even a thing.
I wasn't aware they were champions.
Yeah, see, that's that's actually the point.
They don't showcase them at all.
They don't, because they don't care about the damn tag teams. You know what?
We'll see them at WrestleMania when they need to fill a spot.
Yeah, and you know what will happen after WrestleMania? You'll see Ziggler and Rude arguing back and forth with each other, and then they'll do that for 6 months, and then they'll break up.
Those two best friends?
Yeah. Those two best friends that we never showcase and never... What do you mean? They've been tag team champions forever. Brr, brr, brr.
I'm going to be honest. Until you said them, I forgot they were still in WWE.
Yeah. And number 5, that's going to be your favorite stable, the Dark Order.
Yes. Correct.
Number 4 is my favorite stable, FTR, and they are a stable now.
Yes,
because they are with Pinnacle, MJF. They threw Sean Spears in there for whatever reason, but
they're a part of Pinnacle?
Yeah.
Weird.
Number 3, still together, the Inner Circle. Number 2 is the tag team of the New Day, and who just recently won back their belts.
Nice.
And number 1, sadly, do you know who it is?
I want you to say it.
It's the Young Bucks. Jeez. I'm not happy about it either. It's a formula.
Pain.
And since I have had a couple of people say something to me about it, even though I keep telling you there is no women's division, there was just enough tag teams that I did just to be a smartass.
Oh, God.
To create a top 10 list of women's tag teams.
Uh-huh.
So, prepare yourself for this awesomeness, Barnes. Coming in at number 10, the amazing team of Natalya Neidhart and Tamina. Oh, and if that weren't good enough, the team of Charlotte and Asuka comes in at number 9.
Is he doing this to prove a point?
You know that former tag team champion?
Right. They were tag champions. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Number 8 is the amazing team of Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. 7 is an actual tag team, the Robert Stone brand. Number 6 is NXT tag team The Way, who actually they're really good tag team. I don't have anything bad to say about them. They're pretty good. Number 5 is going to be the team. I'm not even sure if they're even still here or not. Lana and Naomi. Number 4, the team of Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, who just won the tag team tournament. Number 3 is the Riot Squad. Number 2 is the newly crowned champions from NXT, Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. And the number 1 women's tag team would be none other than the team of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. You're welcome.
You really are just doing this to piss me off now.
Well, the women's tag team, that was
I want
that
people
was to piss
to
off a lot of
sincerely
people.
believe that somewhere on the middle of that, I just got up and left because that's mentally I did.
So yeah, you Nakamura'd me on that one.
I what?
Well, you Shinsuke Nakamura'd me on that one.
Yeah. No. Yes.
Yeah. And there it is. There's your top 10 for March of 2021.
That's
there
fine.
you are. There's your top 10. Fuck you.
Sure.
That's what I just heard.
It's a farce now. We get it.
Yeah, they all wanted the win. There's a few people wanted me to do the women's tag team top 10.
2. You said 2.
Yeah. So I finally did. There's just barely enough. Barely. But actually, you can't even do them anymore because now Charlotte's out with COVID. So now we got your top 9.
There's not even any guarantee they listened to that. It was you punished us instead of them.
I'm not sorry.
You're not. I can tell.
I ought to be, though.
Because with every new entry on that list, you were looking at me with the shittiest grin I've ever seen.
It's because there was...
You delighted in your handiwork.
Yes, because out of 10 tag teams, 3 of them were actually tag teams. And the others are just shit that the writers threw together. Well, that's all I've got. David Hensley, what's going on, man?
Oh, not much. This week on Thursday, we're going to be releasing our Chasing Amy episode of Long Walk Talks. And then coming up next month, we've got both nights of WrestleMania and along with a new NXT pay-per-view. Is NXT even pay-per-views? I'm not entirely sure.
Technically.
Yeah, so there's going to be a new NXT takeover next month. And that is about it.
What about the Teeny Talks? We haven't heard.
Oh yeah, we haven't had a chance to do a Teeny Talk in a while.
I honestly thought when you were answering Doggz, it was going to be, not much. The show is canceled.
Don't tempt me. I know Katie would be willing to do Teeny Talks to fill in where This Is a Work would normally go.
Well, they're doing better than we are, so I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if
deservedly
that day comes.
so.
Yeah, I'm really surprised I haven't just canceled all of the male-led shows on this network and just started promoting all the female-led shows. They're doing better in ratings than all of us.
Oh, I mean... And not by a little bit either.
No, like an astronomical amount. It's truly shocking. The last time we released a takeover and I looked at the number of views and downloads, I was texting Shelby and Gina going, did we blow up and not realize it? Like, what the hell happened here? So make sure that you listen to This Is a Takeover next month.
They blew up and we didn't realize.
And help us out. Give us a review here and share this with your friends. Look, we're on the verge of getting canceled and we don't get paid. So come on, this is embarrassing. Help us.
Go into detail about why it stands for.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we're on the verge of getting canceled every week. It's fine. Doggz, if people want to reach out to you on social media, where can they do that at?
Well, you can get me on Twitter, and that's David Two Dogs Hayes. You can also get me on Instagram, and that is also David Two Dogs Hayes.
All right, Chris, what about you?
If you want to fight me online, it'll be at Twitter. I'm at Chris the OK.
All right, and if you want to follow me online or reach out to me, you can do that on Instagram at DB Hensley. If you'd like to see more of our work at Long Walk Productions, you can visit us online at longwalk.us. You can also keep up with us on social media by searching for Long Walk Productions and Long Walk Podcasts on Facebook. If you'd like to see some more of our original content or listen to a backlog of our older episodes of our podcast, links to both of those YouTube channels are in our show notes. And as always, if you enjoy this show, please make sure to leave us a rating and a review on whatever platform you are listening on.
And just remember, folks, if you got out of bed today and you had a job to go to and somebody that cares about you when you get back home, folks, this match is over and you just won via pinfall. Thank you very much for listening to This Is a Work.
Fastlane.